going in.
Today, I'm going to be diving into Suicide Squad to see if it really deserved the backlash that it's gotten. Because a few months after release, the developers just abandoned the game, even though they had a plan for 4 seasons worth of content. But let's get into it. Rocksteady Studios, renowned for the Batman Arkham series, developed S-Squad as their ambitious return to the DC gaming landscape, following a decade-long hiatus from major releases. The studio, founded in 2004, achieved legendary status with Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. Expectations soared for S-Squad, positioned as a direct sequel set 5 years after Arkham Knight in the same Arkhamverse, promising Rocksteady's signature world building with playable anti-heroes Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Captain Boomerang, and King Shark, battling a brainwashed Justice League. This project was billed as Rocksteady's big return, leveraging their pedigree to deliver chaotic co-op action. Initial trailers amassed millions of views, blending Rocksteady's cinematic flair with looter-shooter elements, teasing Joker as a Season 1 addition. I was excited because I anticipated a hybrid success that blended Arkham's polish, potentially rivaling Destiny 2 or even Borderlands. Just like the Avengers game. Whatever happened to that? Either way, Rocksteady post-Arkham noting early single-player concepts pivoting to live service under Warner Bros. Pressure. However, the reveal of Suicide Squad's live service structure ignited instant backlash. Dubbed live service hell for clashing with Rocksteady's single-player mastery, leaks confirmed pre-order bonuses and a season pass, alienating Arkham purists who preferred narrative depth over grinding. It chased trends like Avengers despite Rocksteady's strengths in contained single-player worlds. Delays also compounded issues from 2022 to 2024, citing polish needs with reports of leadership changes and bloated codes. Founders reportedly departed, leaving the studio right before the game was officially launched. So, low-key, this game was abandoned at launch, which is ironic because it had 4 seasons. Upon release, S-Squad garnered mixed scores, with Metacritic being 60 out of 100, praising combat fluidity but slamming repetitive loops. S-Squad encapsulated dashed hopes. Rocksteady's Arkham brilliance met live service pitfalls, delays, and divisive reviews, transforming a big return hype into controversy. With $200 million in losses, development halted by December 2024. Ultimately, S-Squad shows the negative effects live service games can have for studios that are narrative focused. Now, let's get into the gameplay. When I started the game, I was surprised on how good it felt to play, and the different styles each cast had. Combat and gameplay felt different and fun from what I was expecting from a looter shooter. The voice acting was also amazing, and the animations actually looked like a AAA budget game. Nothing about the game so far screamed to me as to why it was so poorly received at launch. So, my first thoughts were, okay, this actually feels smoother than I expected. The gunplay delivers punchy, satisfying feedback with responsive aiming. The combat in S-Squad is different to Destiny and the Borderlands games. It feels like a Rocksteady Arkham game, and it has its own identity, with the unique way of doing the melee combat. The abilities are kinda meh. I don't think they are particularly bad, mainly because they are limited to keep the characters' lore accurate as possible, so they aren't much variety. However, it makes up for this with the diverse characters you can play with, which includes a main cast and a few more that were added on through the season passes. The combat can be repetitive after a while, mainly because most encounters are on roofs for some reason. I guess it's a metropolis city, and the only way you could actually fight without the world feeling too small would be on roofs, since the streets would be too narrow. Low-key though, breakable buildings would have probably go crazy in this game. But hey, I guess that would be too much to ask for. Also, there are modifiers when doing missions. For example, you can only kill enemies with grenades. And I'm on the fence with these modifiers. I feel like they should be a thing for mini bosses or bosses only. I'm not a fan of them being for regular mobs. But I guess it's better than just having enemies whose difficulty is having more HP and shields, so I guess I'll take the L on this battle. I'll be honest with you, traversal might actually be the best part of this game. All the characters have cool ways to traverse, and there's nothing I can criticize about it. Now, the story frames the Justice League as brainwashed pawns, allowing S-Squad members to exploit weaknesses, such as kryptonite for Superman or speed counters for the Flash, all while connecting the story of each hero with their boss fights. For example, Batman's fight carries profound emotional weight, confronting players with the death of Arkham Batman, a series staple, through Conroy's gravelly warnings and defiant final moments. The stealth hunt evokes vulnerability, mirroring Batman's no-kill rule inversion as he eliminates squadmates. This culminates in a post-credits tribute to Conroy, acknowledging his passing and legacy respectfully. Kevin Conroy's performance, recorded before his 2022 death, shines in Batman's taunts and demise, delivering emotional depth amid controversy. Lines convey an older Bruce's desperation. While some view it as wasted potential in a live service flop, I appreciate the tribute's sincerity. I just wish we could have gotten a story gameplay without all the live service fluff to make the game seem like it had more content than it really did. And speaking of live service, the game's live service elements included battle passes, seasonal models, endgame grinds, and loot systems were designed to sustain long-term engagement but face significant criticism for its repetitive and technical issues. Despite a strong single-player story campaign lasting up to 12 hours, the post-launch focus shifted to repetitive missions and monetization, leading to declining player counts and announcement that Season 4 in January 2025 would be the final update. S-Squad's Battle Pass launched with Season 1 in March 2024, offering rewards including outfits, emotes, which can be purchased with the in-game currency you have to use real money to buy. This model promised ongoing DC characters but delivered sparse story missions, prioritizing grind over plot, as seen in the motion comic intros replacing full campaigns. However, it did have a unique feature that allowed passes to remain accessible post-season, enabling players to complete prior ones indefinitely, with earned in-game currency funding subsequent passes after the first purchase. I'm not too sure if this was their initial plan at the beginning of the season pass, giving you in-game currency to buy the next season pass at full price, but I did get the deluxe edition, which allowed me to get one premium season pass access, and this would allow me to unlock all the DLC characters if I spent enough time earning the XP to level up the pass. However, progression demanded a lot of time and effort, rendering excessively grindy, which can be fine if the endgame content was actually fun and interesting. Post-story endgame centered on mastery levels, incursions, and strongholds, requiring hundreds of repetitive rooftop defenses for gear. And the grind intensified in seasons, with events offering targeted loot, but it still can feel mindless. And because it's a live service game, online connectivity was mandated for all modes pre-Season 4. However, before they stopped updating the game, they decided to add an offline mode that copied profiles for its story and seasonal access. I'm glad they actually did that. Hopefully this is the future of live service gaming at least, where you can have an offline mode. Overall, the single player stories flourish without the live service fluff. And I think the whole game would have been better and more positively received if they didn't focus so much on making the game a live service game. Having online co-op would have been just fine enough. And if we could just buy the DLC characters, that probably also would have been enough instead of the season passes. I don't know. So far, the game's traversal mechanic stands out as a core strength, with each S-Squad member abilities providing unique, fast-paced mobility. Visually, the game delivers impressive graphics. The banter between the characters provides constant humor. The issue for this game is not the writing. However, the weaknesses are the mission designs, which suffers from heavy repetition, with kill things at 3 rooftop points, leading to filler content and grindy progression. The live service elements like battle passes, currencies, and seasonal grinds exacerbated this grind, because unlocking Joker required excessive effort for a pass you had to pay for, by the way. Let's wrap our heads around this. You pay for the pass and you had to grind. Very boring game. And the game's performance. Unfortunately, the open world is poorly optimized even after all the updates for season passes. I'm not surprised. If this game had launched as a focused single-player story with optional online co-op, no battle pass, no seasonal grind, I honestly think reception would have been very different. Because buried underneath the live service structure is a genuinely fun game. It's not a disaster, it's just a game caught between two identities. Rocksteady's single-player brilliance and a publisher chasing the live service trend. But what do you think? Have you played the S-Squad game? Did you enjoy it? Are you ever going to check it out? Let me know in the comments, and please be sure to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.